Okay, hi, I'm Angela. That's Angela. My thoughts about the pandemic right now, it's a little bit sad to me that basically our young people are having to deal with this pandemic. They're losing a lot of their childhood. They can't really go to school properly, and if they are going to school, they're fearful about getting sick and making others sick. So, I think this pandemic is a hard crisis for us, and I think that it was something that was done intentionally, not intentionally per se um, to hurt, but I think they're using people sort of as a petri dish. I really feel that COVID was manufactured and it got out of hand, and so now we have this issue, this problem, this epidemic. I think that it has become more political. I think that people are using it for a political platform, but I don't think it was originally a political thing. I really think that it has a lot to do with bioterrorism. That's my take on it. I think that our country is always working with some others to find out what types of um, ways that they can fight wars within the country and with other countries. They've done it for centuries, and so I think that a lot of times they're experimenting on different types of viruses and bacterias and things like that, and they understand those who are most will be hit the hardest. I believe that people in general, especially those that are in higher places, are thinking about though the fittest of those who are more fit will survive. Um, I hear people talking about population control. I believe that that is also a factor. I don't believe that it's political. I believe that it has to do with people believing that you know there's only a certain type of people that should be a part of our world as a whole. No, I hadn't really paid a whole lot of attention to it. It affects me because I'm a student. So I hadn't paid a lot of attention to the 2020 act. But I can tell you that I am not one that is a proponent of our young people going back to school in the way our school system is structured right now. The way the buildings are structured, I don't believe that is safe or healthy for them to be in school right now. Not in that way. I believe they can get their education just like other countries do it. They can get it online until they can restructure schools, sites, and things like that. But yeah, I haven't really thought about the 2020 COVID Act. I looked into it. But within my inner heart, I do not agree with the students returning back to school right now. And basically, I said earlier what that reason is. I think that we're all in a petri dish for certain people in this country and in this world. And for you to tell me that, to give me that information, that makes me feel that way even the more. Um, well, for me personally, it affected school for me. I'm a medical student, and I was studying at a school, and now everything is online. And for medicine, to me, I think that's you're studying medicine. I think that's pretty hard, and I'm sure that it's hard in other arenas as well. But it's affected me, and it's kind of put a stalemate. Even though I'm going to school online um, for this education, I think that because of what's going on with COVID, it is causing interruption in a way. Um, I do believe that Black Lives Matter. Obviously, I'm black, and I'm 56 years old. So there's some things I've seen for many years that my parents have went through that I've gone through personally. So I have some serious thoughts about that. But I am someone that love all people, and this is just who I am. And I know that many people have suffered, not just black people, but I do believe that yeah, our lives do matter. And at this point, there's so many things that are happening, and where we might need a certain kind of protection. But I do think that all lives do matter, but my black life, I believe, matters as well, especially now with what's going on with, shootings and killings. And I believe that Black Lives Matter works for even black on black crime. Our lives matter. And that's how I feel about that. I don't think that white people are trying to just hurt black people. I think that there are certain people um, that are bad, and they make it bad for the majority of the world. I would hope that it would be a better way. I think peaceful ways to do things are always, to me, the best way to do it. But history has shown that folk don't listen until things get torn down or burnt down. You know, before that happens, people are marching peacefully. People are, asking kindly, but things just continue to be the way they are. I don't agree with that kind of thing because I don't believe you should tear up anything. I don't believe in that. But sometimes you have to go by any means necessary. Sometimes you have to do drastic things to get the attention of others. And that being said, like I said, I don't particularly personally agree to it, but as history serves us, we can see that people don't listen and people don't move until something's popping off. And so that's the way, that's my opinion on it. I think the riots, well, when they're happening in the neighborhoods that actually serve the people, I think that it's detrimental to them. If you were burning down and tearing up stuff where you live, then obviously the people that are trying to do well and to make a life for themselves, obviously you're going to suffer some and they're going to suffer. But let's think about history where black communities thrived. And those who did not like it, they came into those communities and burnt whole communities down. So that's just, it wasn't liked, but it happened. It didn't, and we don't just do it to ourselves. I mean, history shows that black communities that have thrived in the past, when our white brothers and sisters that were way on the other end that didn't like it, they would come into whole towns and destroy and burn whole towns. So that's the example that people have, and unfortunately the local people that work hard to build businesses and to build things, unfortunately they suffer, and I hate that.
Yadira Dickens, spelled Y-A, D as in David, I-R-A. Last name is Dickens, D as in David, I-C-K-E-N-S. So I am a small business owner. The name of my business is Divine Butterfly Supply. It's a beauty supply store. I supply beauty products for kids, women, men of the Lawrence County and other counties, those that do actually come in. The COVID-19 pandemic. It's a lot that, I don't know, that we can speak up on that. As far as my opinion, I think it's a whole, like, government hoax. It's affected everyone's life, and it's different now. Like, they actually put the fear in people. Like, it's like more like they took our liberty away. Everything that in every way that everybody thought that we were so secure, they don't feel like that anymore. Like, you got parents that are locking themselves in their house, businesses shut down and can't come back from it. Money is there, but it's like you can't really get to it. It doesn't make any sense. In the beginning, I'm not gonna lie, I was scared because, when COVID-19 first came out, it was different. It wasn't like Ebola and anthrax, and it wasn't like cancer or AIDS. It was like no one knew what this thing exactly was. Like, we've seen it, everybody was pulling out the Lysol bottles and looking in the back of it and say, oh yeah, coronavirus, but we never really witnessed it, You know, we seen the effects, you know, of different flus, swine flu, you know, and how cancer can actually affect people, but no one actually really saw what coronavirus was capable of doing. You know, people never really actually seen it affect the whole nation, you know? And I think that's what really is a little bit different than all of the other pandemics that has happened, because this is not the only pandemic that has happened.